Welcome to another episode of Strictly Business Unscripted. I'm your host, Keandra Jones. This podcast educates, ignites inspiration, fosters encouragement, and paves the way for growth among small businesses and the overall Oak Cliff community. But first, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Dallas Zoo, Home Care Network, Breakfast Brothers, and Serve Pro. Thank you for your ongoing support. Now, let's get into today's show. Joining us today again is Curtis Lee Corbins, who is the president and CEO of Sealy Transportation. He was born and raised in Lake Charles and is a longtime resident right here in the DFW metroplex since 1985. He is a devoted father, entrepreneur, and passionate community advocate who is dedicated to helping underserved communities gain access to opportunity. Through his work in transportation and community service, Curtis has made it his mission to help individuals move from poverty to prosperity by connecting people to jobs, medical care, and the resources they need to succeed. His work has impacted countless lives through North Texas, especially those societies that have gone overlooked and forgotten. So please help me welcome Mr. Curtis. I was about to mispronounce your name, Curtis Corbins. Hello, welcome. Thanks for coming back.
All the above. I'm so excited to be back. It was a long time.
You were here with us a few months ago.
It's a long time. I love this show.
Well, thank you for loving the show. I appreciate it. For most people that know our relationship, they know that we're going to banter back and forth. That's just kind of the nature of it.
Yes.
And so we're going to do what we do, okay?
That's why I love you.
Don't say you love me.
Yes.
So anyway, thanks for coming back. So we have to set some ground rules.
Yes.
Okay? There can be no lies at all today.
Correct.
Okay, so you already told one. Okay, so no more lies today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so moving forward, we want to talk about something so exciting that I had the opportunity to witness, which was your book launch. I don't know who helped you launch a book. I know you could not have done it yourself because to my knowledge, you cannot read and write. But, correct. So you had some help.
Yes, lots of help.
Who helped you?
Charlotte White was the main young lady. She helps people get their books published.
Okay.
Gets it edited and everything. So yes, I would not have been able to get this done without her at all. So yes, thank you so much, Miss Charlotte.
I knew somebody had to help you. I knew it. I knew somebody had to help you because
when I was told several times you ought to write a book, I would just look at people cross-eyed because I don't have a clue how to write a book. But Miss Charlotte White came in and made it look so easy.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank God. Thank God for her.
Thank God for yes.
Okay, so let's talk about this book. This is what today's show is all about, is your book. So what's the name of your book?
The name of the book is So What?
Can I see it?
Let's not make excuses. Let's make moves. You know, life be lifing so much, right? I know. So what you gonna do? You gonna make excuses or make moves?
Okay, so this is So What? Don't make excuses, make moves. I must say, this is a really nice photo of you.
That's me.
It's not often that I'm going to give you a compliment,
I know,
but
I
I
know.
will. This is a very, very nice photo of you. So I've not had the opportunity to read it just yet, but we're going to walk through it just a little bit. First of all, what was it that inspired you? I know you said folks came up to you and said that you should do this, but what actually was the inspiration behind this book?
Well, just people coming to me wanting to get advice on how to work through difficult situations and difficult times and everything. Mm-hmm. And I'm of the belief that we're all going through something. There's life be lifing and all that stuff. So I have a theory that I say that you can only come to me with your problems one time. Now we're going to begin to talk about the solutions. Let's talk about how we can get you from here to there. So I felt like so many people were coming to me asking me how I could help them. I felt like the best way to do it is just put it in a book. Okay.
No, I love that. You know, for those of us who keep a therapist on the payroll, like I do.
And I do too.
That is one of the things that she says to me, my therapist says to me often. she doesn't say I can only bring it to her one time, but what she does say is we're going to state the problem.
Yes.
We have to state whatever that problem is. The problem is a problem,
Yes.
whether it's a perceived problem or there is reality of a problem. There is a problem if I believe there to be, but where we're going to live is in the solution.
Yes.
And so that's
Yes,
where
I
she
love
guides me all the time. Okay, we're going to live in the solution. We're not going to continue to restate the problem. So I love that. So we're going to walk through this book just a little bit. Is that okay? And
That
you can
is.
give us a high level kind of
Yes.
overview of what these chapters
I
are
love
about. Is
Let's
that all
do it.
right?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. So of course we open this book up and it says my story behind the glory. What is your story behind the glory?
Wow, my story, and I think I may have talked about it the last time I was on the podcast, is going from being homeless to what I consider God has brought me to greatness. When I started my business, I didn't have anything but my faith in God.
Mm-hmm.
And just knowing that God, my current situation was not who God has destined me for. I've always felt God had destined me for greatness. So I stood on that. Even though there were some dark days, there were some days where I just felt like God did not see me. But through the whole time, he kept me and he held me up and he kept me encouraged, because there were days I wanted to give up. And so in meeting Miss P, who's no longer with us, she helped guide me through the process of getting started with the transportation business. Like I said, didn't have anything, but got started by faith.
So for those folks who might be new to the area, new to the podcast, that do not know who Miss Edna Pemberton is or was, talk to me just a little bit about the iconic and legendary Miss Edna Pemberton. That's who you're referring to when you say
Yes.
Miss P. Okay.
Yes. Edna P was, to me, was a lady who was kind of like, I called her the mayor of the Redbird Oak Cliff area. Everybody knew her. She was someone that was about getting things done. She did not like the word try. She was someone, to me, had an impact upon the Redbird and Oak Cliff area. Her mindset was she was very protective of the community. She was one of those that could call the mayor on speed dial at the time, Mayor Rollins, when I got started. She knows all the politicians, the state representatives, senators, presidents, and all that stuff. She was so powerful that when Barack Obama was in office, he invited her to come and introduce him when he introduced the Affordable Care Act. She's just someone that when you say her name in this area, people know exactly who she is. She's a very powerful woman. I met her when I moved here in '85, joined Concord, and her her adopted me like that one son that they didn't have, and she was very instrumental in my growth, teaching me how to one of the things she taught is not about me. Mm. It's all about serving the people and trusting God on a day-to-day process.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I remember Miss P, who, like you've said, is no longer with us, and it seemed like everybody that she met, she touched in such a magnificent way. I don't think she met a stranger. She was
Never.
a little small person with a whole lot of power.
With a whole lot of power. And she's one of those people that, when the Bible talks about feeding a bunch of people with the few loaves of bread and fish, I've always watched her do that, and she always came through.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Okay, so your second chapter is Your Mind Must Shine. Your
Yes.
mind must shine. Talk to me a little bit about what that means.
I truly believe that everything starts with a mindset. From every morning when you wake up, what your mindset is going to determine what your day is going to be back, because what your day is going to be like. And so every morning when I wake up, I always try to make sure that my mindset is in the right direction, that I wake up, first of all, saying, Lord, thank you for another great day.
Yeah.
So I'm injecting myself with positive things, because that helps to dictate how I plan for my day to be. Your mindset is what's going to guide the rest of your day. So your mind has to shine.
So have you ever, and we're going to move along through the book here in a second, have you ever, gotten up in the morning, and you and I are both early risers.
Yes.
and most
Early.
early risers, and it's not uncommon for us to be on the phone in the mornings.
At 5 in the morning.
At 5 in the morning, talking about all the things.
And she driving to a place to get her a drink every morning. Same
I
time.
mean, I support Redbird.
Yes, you do.
So I support the Starbucks over here in Redbird every morning. They already know I'm going to get a tall, hot pistachio latte with an extra shot of espresso. They already know.
Yes, they do. I've heard it. I've seen it.
But in the mornings, when you've done all your things, and I think that we're similar in this area, that we're centering ourselves in the morning, we're doing our meditation, we're thanking God, we're getting centered, making sure our minds are right to enter into the day. Have you ever, early on, just start talking to somebody and they can shift that mindset for you in the mornings and it can impact your entire day? Has that ever happened to you? And if so, how do you get refocused, recentered?
It has happened several times with a phone call. I'm geared up, I'm ready to go, get my day started, I'm feeling good, and someone will call, and it's like the start of the conversation, when they start talking, it just like it's trying to zap out of me whatever else I had. So I have to quickly recognize what it is. And because I said we're in a spiritual battle, we're in a spiritual warfare. That's part of it. And so I recognize it. And once I can recognize what it is, I quickly divert and get myself back where I was. Because if not, it can be like a slow leaking faucet. And before you know it, you're in this dark place. And you're trying to figure out, how did I go from here to here?
So quickly.
So quickly. And it's a conversation that I'm having with them. And the more they talk, the less I'm feeling. I'm just starting to, it's like I'm deteriorating. And so, when you feel that, you've got to, and first of all, you got to recognize it. When you feel it, it's like you've got to pivot. And get back to where you were and control the dynamics of the conversation. It's been times, even when I told them, I said, listen, I'm going to have to disconnect from this call for a little bit. And then I'll call you back. Has it always ended well? No. But I just can't allow this conversation to continue to do what I said doing so. And I agree with that. And, I think that sometimes it's okay, sometimes, because everybody has an off day. If I talk to you and your energy's not right, that's okay because it's not normal. But there are certain individuals that are always carrying kind of that spirit of negativity.
And I call them energy vampires.
I'm going to steal that one.
Energy vampire, because they will
suck the life out of you.
Suck your good energy away. And they just don't know, I'm fighting for this little bit of energy I got. I barely got it. Don't take it from me. So there are certain individuals that just kind of carry that spirit of being your energy vampire. And so how do you navigate those waters when you see negative Nancy about to come over and try to steal your energy? How do you?
Well, if it's particularly someone I know that they consistently, or that's pretty much who they are, I don't allow them in my space. And I've even had to tell some people that I said, I can't allow you in my space because of the impact it has. And of course I've had people say, what the blank you're talking about? They can't relate. I say, well, and so I divert myself and don't allow them within, because I know what they're going to do. They just always, it's never anything positive coming out of their mouth. On a regular basis, the same thing over and over again. So I just keep my distance. There's certain people you cannot come within my peripheral.
Okay, so I'm going to throw something at you. Throw something at you a little bit. Listen, I'm going through something that I believe more people need to be talking about. I know that this is not that conversation, but I am in this moment going to ask that people give some people grace. What I've learned lately is when women are going through perimenopause, their hormones shift. And it can impact that. In fact, I was talking to an individual that I thought I had labeled her just a negative Nancy, because every time I was around her, she was just like sucking the energy out of the room. That's how heavy it was anytime she was around. And I saw her recently, and she was just like
totally different.
A totally different person. I said, well, hey, girl, like, who are you? She was a completely different person altogether. And I politely, because I was treading lightly, I didn't know if
it was real,
if we were about to go postal or what was going on. And so we talked about kind of what was going on with her. She said it was hormones. She said, Keandra, I was suicidal.
Wow.
I was suicidal. And she said, I did not know what was going on with me until I had my hormones checked. Once I got them balanced, she was a completely different person. loving life. So anyway, I throw that out there because it's something that I just learned.
That's real. That's real. It's a health issue. It was a health issue.
It was a health issue.
Because they don't even know sometimes why they're going through what they're
She
going through.
did not. But as it relates to this, and I did want to segue there as a woman that's middle-aged and going through all the things, give us some grace sometime. But anyway, we're going to keep going.
You middle-aged? All right.
I am definitely middle-aged. That is perimenopausal.
I love that name.
Perimenopausal, and everybody that's around me is going through it with me. So thank God for our team's mercy and grace that they extend towards me. But anyway, moving on.
It makes sense now.
What makes sense? What makes sense?
Why I get treated the way I treat you.
No. I've been treating you like this for years. It has nothing to do with hormones. I give what is given.
Ooh, I thought it was the post-parental.
No, it's not post.
Okay.
Because I'm peri. I'm just beginning. And I've been treating you like this for 10 or 15 years.
Wow, yes.
So it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with how you are.
I tried.
Onward and upward. Okay.
Yes.
So your next chapter is a mind is a terrible thing to waste. And anytime I hear that, I think of like Lou Rawls back in the day. Those
Yes.
See, that's how you know I'm middle-aged, because I remember those Lou Rawls things when he used to be raising money. What was it for? Black colleges.
Yeah, the Negro College Fund.
United Negro College Fund. He'd be like, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Yes. So talk to us in the context of this book. What is that chapter about?
It's about taking every advantage of using your mind to the best of your ability, because if we're not careful and if we don't invest in our mental capacity, we will slowly deteriorate. Mm-hmm. And if you begin to deteriorate mentally, all bets are off. So we have to be constantly pouring into our mental state on a daily basis, whether that's reading, whether that's engaging in positive conversation, whether it's networking.
That's right.
You are a networking queen. I mean, you are a network. I just love to watch you. If you ever watch this One Worker Room, you'd be amazed. But those are different ways where you can invest in your mental state. And so when I say it's a mind's a terrible thing to waste, don't waste the capacity of your mind by not investing in your mind through conversations, through networking, through and surrounding yourself with positive mentors, people that can pour into your mental state. Whether it's being involved in cohort class, if you're a business owner, you want to learn all that you can and allow your mind to be filled with all those important and positive information that is needed. So when I say it's a terrible thing to waste, you're wasting away if you're not investing in your mental state.
I think that's so important, Curtis, and you work with seniors as well, transporting seniors. What have you seen? Well, let me ask it this way. Have you seen individuals who are not pouring into themselves lately or often? Have you seen the impact of not using your brain regularly, and what happens when you're not pouring into self?
As it relates to our seniors, I see it all the time. They have a regular regimen. If they're not going to the doctor, I promise you, I can pretty much tell you what they're doing throughout the day.
Tell me
they
that.
Get up, they get their coffee.
That's right.
They drink their coffee. They turn their they have their little time with God. And then they come and sit in their chair, sit on their couch, flick on the TV, and it's the same shows every day. It's Price is Right. It's Judge Judy. It's all the. I've even had one or two of them watch some reality TV.
Yeah.
But it's like they're just sitting there in front of the TV day in and day out. And then about 6 o'clock, they'll get up and, of course, get them something to eat.
Right.
And then they'll come back, watch TV. And then probably about 5 or 6, then they start thinking, well, let me fix me some dinner.
Yeah.
And then about 7, they're getting ready for bed.
Yeah.
And then they get ready for bed. They're in bed by 8 o'clock.
Yep.
And they lay there till they go to sleep.
Yep.
And then they get up the next morning, the same routine. So to me, they're not investing properly.
Yeah.
And what I find is happening is I can tell there's a slowly diminishing of the mind.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, because they've not poured anything into, all they've seen is all this craziness on TV.
Yeah.
And so there's nothing in there to help encourage them.
That's right.
And then sometimes I've even seen them go so far as to go into a state of depression.
Absolutely, they do.
All because of and they think, they thinking all this is fine. And so I try to encourage them to get out. And then, of course, we've got some coming attractions. I'm not going to talk about it right now, that we're going to shift that stuff really, really soon. We're going to be shifting what some of our seniors do on a daily basis, because I think it's so important. And if you think about it, one of the things, if you watch teachers that retire, mm-hmm. There are a lot of teachers that are retired, and all they do is just, they wind up sitting up all day. And what happens, there's a lot of teachers that have been diagnosed with dementia. Mm-hmm. And Alzheimer's, mm-hmm. because they retired from these 20, 25 years of classroom and the same routine every day, and now they've just shifted to where all they do is just sit around all day.
You bring up so many interesting points. I agree. If you're not using your mind,
it's a brain muscle.
It's gonna decline.
Yes.
And a lot of times, because I'm watching this in real life myself, a lot of times when you no longer feel that you have a purpose.
That's it right there, Keith. Ooh, that's it. You just said it.
When you no longer feel like life has meaning or purpose, you're doing nothing and you're just sitting there waiting to die.
And there are seniors that think that once they retire from their job, that there is no more purpose. To me, as long as you got breath in your body, you have a purpose.
Absolutely.
I don't believe retirement means you just go sit on the porch every day or you wait for your grandkids to come over. No. And I've seen some seniors, they are very active. They're active in the community.
Yeah.
You know, Miss P was 75, 76 years old when she passed.
Yeah.
She worked until her last day of breath.
Absolutely, she did.
And I know several other seniors that they're up every day. They already got plans to get out and go and volunteer.
Yeah.
You know, volunteer at nursing homes. They are active, and so they're working that brain muscle.
Absolutely.
And pouring into someone else, you know, at the end of the day.
I would dare say, I don't know that we're meant to retire.
I agree.
I don't know that we are.
I think we shift.
Yeah, and you know, this country is one of the few countries that believes in retirement.
Yeah, I agree.
And as a result, we don't live as long.
That is so true. I believe that.
We're not meant I don't believe we're really meant to retire. You're meant to continue to use your brain as long as you can use it. Usually when people retire, that's when they decline.
They deteriorate.
Yeah.
It's a proven thing. And you see it. You can see it now. You may retire from your job.
Sure.
But it doesn't mean you retire from living.
You don't retire from life.
Right.
These folks are just unfortunately existing.
That's it. That is it right there.
Existing. And one of the ones that's pretty close to me, you know how I am. I said, well, do you want to die? I mean, because it seems like that's all you're waiting for. Do you want to die?
Because think about their routine. It's like they wake up preparing for, okay, well, it's like I'm one day closer to my last breath.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't. That's not the way I want to be when I.
No, I don't want to exist.
I want to.
I want to live.
Yes, and I don't. And listen, I've seen 80-year-old women at the gym just as fit as they want.
Absolutely.
80 years old.
Absolutely.
So to me, it's a mindset.
It is a healthy, wealthy mindset.
Oh, say that again. Healthy,
Coming soon
to a
healthy, wealthy mindset. Yes. Okay, moving on. We'll make the announcement later.
Yes.
Okay. Seal the right deals. What's that?
All money is not good money. I had to learn that the hard way. There are going to be deals in this world, especially in the entrepreneur world, that people are going to present, and depending on if you're in a desperate state, you got to be very careful, because if people there are people out here like piranhas, and if they can feel like you're in a desperate state, they're going to present something to you that's really, at the end of the day, it's not going to be beneficial. So we have to be very careful that just because someone presents something to us and it even looks good, be very careful. Don't be, as that saying goes, just be slow to get up on it at the end of the day. So we have to be very careful that not all deals are good deals.
Yeah.
And you have to recognize that and take your time and work through it. Don't just snap at every deal that comes to you. So you have to be very careful with that. Every deal is not a good deal.
Okay.
It may look good, but do your homework.
Yeah. Okay. So you talk about procrastination creating assassination.
Yes.
That's a pretty strong chapter title. Procrastination creates assassination. What is that about?
I say it like this: procrastination leads to the assassination of all your dreams, your visions, and everything. Just think about it. Every day that you put it off or you procrastinate, you're killing what God has for you that day.
Yeah.
You're slowly chopping out the legs from under it. So I tell anybody, and procrastination can creep in on you, and sometimes physically, oh man, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But why put off tomorrow what you can do today?
Yeah.
So to procrastinate leads to the assassination of what is a possibility, because guess what? You don't get today back.
Yeah.
Today is gone. You don't get this week back.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So to procrastinate, remember that is one less day that you've taken off the calendar for you to be able to fulfill what God has for you.
There's so many interesting chapters in here. To dwell creates hell. To dwell creates hell. What? What does that mean?
Well, you're ever in a situation or you're going through something, and you of course you're thinking through things. But and I use it sometimes when people are going through stuff and they're coming to talk to me about their problems. But to dwell on that for too long, to me, it creates a hellish situation.
Oh, okay. So that's living in the problem instead of the solution.
Say that again.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's living in the problem. Got it.
And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. We're going to talk about the problem, and we're going to begin to resolve.
Yeah.
Even if resolving it is small steps, at least you're not dwelling on it. Mm-hmm. And to dwell on it means you're still stuck in the starting blocks.
Yeah.
You're sitting there, and and the longer you ponder on it, it's almost like if you sit around negative energy long enough, you're going to become depressed.
That part.
And I've seen it happen. I can remember when I was in a real dark space in my life, especially when I was going through homelessness. There were days where I would sit there, and the longer I sat idle, all of a sudden, before I knew it, there was a heaviness upon me.
Yeah.
And it'll happen to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the end of the day. So I learned, I said, man, I can't keep dwelling on my current situation.
Right.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So guess what? I have to begin to put together a plan. And what does that plan look like? Even if it's small steps, it doesn't have to be the big giant steps. But at least, and one of the steps is you begin to think differently.
Yeah.
Goes back to the mindset.
Yeah.
You begin to shift your mindset that I'm not going to be identified by my current situation.
That's right.
I'm going to begin to move on this thing and create new energy, a new atmosphere, a new environment, and all that starts with the mindset.
That's right.
That's a one day at a time thing. But if you don't begin to do those little things, you're dwelling.
Yeah.
And to dwell creates hell.
Yeah. Wow.
And so that's where that comes from.
My God. You know what, Curtis? I think we play so much, me and you, about ridiculous things. And we banter so much, I forget that you're really intelligent.
Yeah, I heard that.
Because we're always playing.
She already gave me a compliment. Can you put a ... by that right there?
I forget, just how intelligent you really are. Because we need to quit playing so much.
No, I don't
That's
know.
what
Because that takes the fun out of our friendship.
Yeah.
I love that part. At least, guess what? We're both being genuine and real with who we are with each other. So.
I forget. But this so what? Don't make excuses, make moves. This is a must read. It is a must read. Where can people find this book to purchase?
They can go to sowhatmovement.com is our website to order the book, or they can also call us at 469-818-7989, and we can show them how to order. And then we've also got a networking event coming up in June. The first Saturday in June, we're going to be doing our first So What Movement networking event to let people know about the movement that's taking place, because this is a movement for me.
Yeah.
This is about helping people to shift their mindset and helping them to get connected with the resources necessary. And I've shared this with you. There's two resources. People always go to these seminars. They go to these cohort classes. They get all this information, and now they're stuck. Okay, what do I do?
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's because they lack two main things.
What's that?
Capital and marketing. And so what I want to make sure is we build a bridge to get them to all the resources necessary, so there is no excuses. Because I feel like if I'm coming to you and you tell me this situation, and I say to you, so what? Don't make excuses, make moves. I have a responsibility to help you make moves and help you make the moves that are going to be effective. And so that's a responsibility for me, is to make sure that I'm not just calling out and saying, so what? No, so what? And I tell you, I don't want to hear your excuses. So if I'm going to tell you I don't want to hear your excuses, I have a responsibility to help position you so that you can make the best move possible and get you connected with those resources.
I love that. I love that.
I love it too.
So again, if you are not motivated to buy this book by now, I don't know what would motivate you.
That picture on there should motivate you.
Well,
yes.
Sir. Okay, we were doing good, so you went there.
We're always doing good.
So what? Don't make So what? Don't make excuses. Make moves. Get your copy now.
And flip it on the back and see what that's a message too. Put all that stuff up under your feet.
You'll have to get the book to see the message on the back. But do please support our brother Curtis Corbins. And I think that this will be a real good treat for you to read this.
Join the movement.
Join the movement. Thank you so very much, Curtis, my friend, for being here today. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of the movement. We had a great book signing event.
And you did an awesome job moderating. Thank you for looking beyond my faults and seeing my needs and let me come on your show again. Because I know it was hard. I know you oh God, do I have to? I know. But thank you for looking beyond my faults and seeing my needs, showing me your grace and your mercy. Amen.
You know, if people did not know you, they would think that you were just...
Yeah, something wrong with me. You said it.
Yeah, there is a lot. You know,
something wrong with you, too. Something wrong with all of us. We all... None of us. God ain't through with none of us.
Thank you so much for being here, my friend. I appreciate you, and I look forward to working with you because we've got some projects that are coming up
in the cooker. On the crock pot, yes.
Especially for our seniors here in the area. So
yes.
I'm looking forward to our continued partnership. But thank you again for being here. And thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Strictly Business Unscripted. We will see you next time. Take care.
Ta-ta.
I'm your host, Keandra Jones. And again, thank you for watching another episode of Strictly Business Unscripted. We'll see you next time.